Hello, and how was your day? How was your day?
My day has been very productive, very busy. Again, meditation, exercise, a little learning, and then I had a fabulous Zoom call with one of my mentors and a friend. It was a very interesting meeting.
Fabulous. And you came in live this morning on one of our Zoom calls. I just hoiked you out of whatever you're doing next door and sat you in the chair here.
You did. You did, and thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I'm a bit of camera shy kind of person, but
Less so.
yeah, but thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone. Yes, I shared a few drops of wisdom. I like always like to better myself, become a better human, and so they will give me that opportunity today. And Andrew, thank you, Andrew, and yeah, share a few drops of wisdom with a few of you listeners. Thank you. What about you?
What did I do today? I've been kind of talking on the old webcam quite a lot today, more than usual, I think, really.
I know.
So I had a good old natter with my good friend Andrew, which was supposed to be an hour, and we had to push it back from 10 a.m. till 11, and it went on till, about 1:30 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I really don't understand how. It's amazing I mean, your stamina.
I'm Mr. Chatty.
Yes, yeah, but it was quite intense since very early in the morning.
And then I was on here at 4 o'clock. Hello, Cal. It's so
Cal.
lovely of you to join us again, because you were with us at 4 o'clock as well for my little chat to my good friend Rupert. It's an honour to have you with us this evening. Yeah, so we're just talking about like how our day's been. And yeah, I've been a busy boy. So 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5 hours on the old video, and then I had a little chat to my friend Rupert after we finished, and we were putting the world to rights for about half an hour, just the two of us as well. So it's lovely to be able to join up with. I think we're spending more time with friends now there's a lockdown than normal.
Yeah, yeah, and then you get to also, well, in my case, I got to see an unusual thing of someone playing fronton. You know that fronton when you play with a racket.
Well, funny enough, I was
In the car park.
I was looking it up. Front tennis.
Yeah, tennis.
And so it means what basically?
Basically, the guy I suppose was doing some exercise in that massive wall that is supports that bridge, and it was just amazing to see how people just improvise out of this lockdown in terms of how to keep mobile and exercise. He obviously enjoyed going to play fronton with someone, and now he has to do it again here in the car park alone, which is amazing.
And you know, it was literally like he's going to the lawn tennis club, and he was doing his squats and
Yes,
things
he
as well,
was.
and limbering up and whacking the old racket a bit before he got to sort of banging the ball up against the wall and that. I used to do that at school when I was about I don't know 13, 14 with my friends,
Really?
and but there was two of us, and so one of us would whack the thing against the wall, and the other one would catch it.
Yeah, yeah. I used to really thoroughly enjoy every Saturday playing fronton in Tampico. This is back in Mexico. Wow, amazing time.
Wow. We used to do it in the mornings next to the bike sheds at school while we were waiting to go in, because my dad used to go to work and he used to drop me off in the morning quite early, because he started work at an enviably early hour. So then I had about 45 minutes with my mates every day,
Oh, excellent. Well done.
which was nice. I remember it well. I really
Good
do.
news?
Well, that's good news, isn't it? Really? Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. Now, let's go to the. This is the first time I think that we've ever dipped into the Berlin Spectator, which was only established in 2019, so that's understandable then in that case. And Berlin has seen a decrease in crime in the corona crisis, less violence, a decrease in pickpocketing. And decreased burglaries as well, which is pretty obvious, really, because if I'm when I'm in my old stripy shirt with the crowbar and all that kind of thing, and what do I wear, a balaclava over my head, you see, I tend to look for the houses. Don't tell the police that. I tend to look for the houses that are empty. So at the moment, that's why I'm staying at home, you see, Canal, because there's nobody to burgle, because everybody's bleeding at home here, aren't they? So kind of, ooh, hello. I mean, they're hardly going to help me to carry their telly out of the house, are they? Unless I ask very nicely. I'll say, excuse me, I'll come to burgle you. Can you help me with the telly, because it's a bit heavy? Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining us. We're just indulging in our usual kind of silliness.
Hello,
here.
Kevin.
And Kevin, naturally. And we're just discussing how in Berlin, interestingly enough, the crime has kind of fallen in ways that are obvious. If nobody's about, you ain't going to be able to pickpocket them. if everybody's home, you're not going to be able to burgle them. And you know, so there are some obvious ones really, but you know, it makes for a page on the newspaper, doesn't it? Really, but less violence is good. Less violence is good, and car theft has slumped, and all kinds of stuff. So kind of, I guess when people aren't out there, there are fewer people to commit crimes or to have crimes committed against them.
That's right. Yeah, it's about solidarity, and we're all on this together, basically. So worldwide, in a global sphere.
Yes, I had two articles from the Super Soaraway Sun, but they've disappeared. So we'll have to rest those two. That's quite extraordinary, isn't it? Really, oh, here they are. I was going to think for a minute that my because this is the first time not only that we've dipped into the Berlin Spectator, but it's also the first time that we've pulled two articles out of the red tops. So number one, and obviously that the Sun has got its finger on the pulse. They say that the Sun headline: Brits told to wear face masks in public to stop coronavirus after government told they could limit spread. Now, clearly, this isn't something that's been announced at all. Hello, Andy. Thank you for joining us. We're just discussing the news as portrayed by Mr. Rupert Murdoch's outlet, The Sun, the Sun story basically is that people will be asked to wear masks on public transport and that kind of thing. On when they have to be less than 2 meters away from people. The government has said they can neither confirm or deny it. So it's a complete non-story, really. But there you go. And here's another non-story. They've got the Sun's got a little chart of all the people in the cabinet whom they've labelled them doves in the middle and hawks, which was kind of those expressions used to be aimed at American foreign policy, didn't it? Dick Cheney and all those kind of guys. But now it's aimed about the people who want the lockdown to continue, the doves, and obviously that's Boris and Matt because they had it and they know it's a nasty old lurgy. In the middle are the ones who want to cosy up to the PM, Dominic Raab being among them, and Jacob Rees-Mogg. You don't hear much about him anymore, do you? After sort of his lolling episode in the House of Commons, where he was just kind of relaxing very nicely.
We'll get tired.
He's woken up, and then and the Hawks include Michael Gove, Rishi Sunak, and Priti Patel, of course, and a couple of others who are saying, send them back to work and don't give them any supper. Hello, David, and hello, Tony. It's very nice of you to join us this evening. We're having our usual gossip-o perpetuo about the news and all the stuff that's going on out there in the big wide world. And I think that's the entire copy of The Sun for the whole month, really. That's all the news that's in there for the indefinite, for the foreseeable future. But we thought we ought to dip there just to do fairness, because Andrew Myers is one.
Right. Yeah, I've just found this one from the SpaceX Starlink satellites to be visible all week.
Wow.
Apparently we're going to be looking.
Is that Elon Musk's project?
Yes, it is Elon Musk's, and they're going to be visible because he's launched 300 of his Starlink satellites in batches of 60.
As you do.
And so the aim is to create in 12,000 strong constellations. So at the moment we're going to be looking at this. We can see if we have clear skies, which I assume we have, due to the low contaminants now. So yeah, have a sneak preview of this high-speed internet back down to earth stuff.
My friend Dr. Mike, who did that video about COVID-19 with me on Saturday, he's got a telescope in his garden. It's disguised as a garden shed, and a bit like these kind of space-age movies and things where the canopy goes back and then, Dr. No or something, sort of a missile inside it or something. So you peel back this thing in his garden, which is exactly, it looks like a garden shed, and there's a telescope inside it. And it's hooked up to his Raspberry Pi and all kinds of stuff like that. And he's started posting some photographs now of constellations and things in space. But I remember the first time we had a look at anything through his telescope, he showed me the space station, the International Space Station. Ooh. Which was quite an interesting. Oh, I'm just blinded by something shining in my face, which you can probably see the reflection of just there. That is a train coming into the old dump station, which is so close to us here that it actually shines off my glasses there and puts me completely off what I was about to say, because I'm thinking, whoa, who's that shining a bright light in my eyes?
We just find out if he's going to take some photos and see if we can post them. It'd be nice to see photos of the satellites.
Yeah, because our tennis guy that we were watching in the car park up beside our house, we were just setting up to take a photo, and he backed up and put his racket under his arm and his towel over his shoulder and walked off. How inconsiderate. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow, So there's a hotel in Switzerland providing some shelter for homeless women and youths. In conjunction with the Salvation Army's night shelter program in Geneva, which is kind of nice, really, because hotels aren't really being used so much else at the moment. So, so I think that's a grand gesture. I think it's a grand gesture. Yeah, there's a two-time cancer survivor who has started a fundraiser called Show You Care and Shave Your Hair, and asked for people to shave their hair on Thursday after the old clap for carers and donate to the NHS. What do you reckon? Shall we shave a bar down the middle of there?
Probably going to skip that one because kind of protects my head at the moment. I do tend to get a few headaches from time to time.
It would have to be. We'd have to both do it, or neither of us will. Okay, I'm with you on not doing it, but we'll give them a good old clap tomorrow night anyway.
Some people do. I have friends of mine that they've shaved their heads, as more so the young generation, to donate their hair to make some wigs for people who need them. So it's a good idea.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing. Then we read today about a music lecturer from the University of Southampton, and he's doing made-to-measure songs for musicians. He's asking people to send in requests, and so far he's come up with 19 tunes for people to go home and play at their leisure.
Oh, amazing!
Which is nice.
Yeah, another of our friends is playing the was it clarinet? Yeah, online.
Yes. And this guy said all he asks is that they perform it and send him the video of them performing it. So it's kind of nice, really. Very nice. Very nice story. What else is going? Some Italian performers and a DJ are taking their sound system and comedy performances to Rome, to the tightly packed neighbourhoods where residents all live on top of one another, to entertain people. So the DJ plays some songs to get them dancing, presumably 2 meters apart, even at the old windows, and they've got an electric violinist as well, which I think is kind of nice, isn't it, really?
Mm-hmm. You forgot to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday
Not
to you.
Me, it's Happy Earth Day.
Oh,
today.
I'm sorry. Happy Earth Day to all of us.
Yeah, apparently we've been celebrating for 50 years now Earth Day. And in fact, my meeting this morning was to do with that, to be grateful for this beautiful world that we share, called Earth. And if you had a chance to Google something today, if you were online, the good thing with Google Bar today was you clicked on that one, and you get to see this kind of loop of these bees, kind of a game, and I must say I was hooked for about a little while, and which you can go pollinating different things. So if you haven't had a search on Google today, do one and just click on the action, and it's quite cool. Quite cool. I forgot to show it to you.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Hello to another of my radio pals, Jeff, who's just joined us. Hope things are kind of good too. Jeff used to be quite close to Cambridge, but I think he moved in the direction of Norfolk. Is that right, Jeff? A couple of years back. Kevin says, I shave my head anyway, but I'm letting my beard grow for lockdown. I'm doing the reverse, I think. So the old head is sprouting, but the beard is under scrutiny, isn't it? The beard's got notice from notice to quit. So we'll be getting the old sheep shearers out. Happy Earth Day, Kevin, and happy Earth Day, everybody.
Happy Earth Day.
It's wonderful to celebrate our planet at such a time, particularly at a time when we've got more time to reflect on such things. It's a joy. It's a joy. Golf and tennis clubs are set to reopen in Denmark. Since there's not too much kind of physical contact, and I guess they won't just be front golf and front tennis. Is there such a thing as front golf?
No, I don't know.
Probably not. I do know this, that golf doesn't have to do your back in, because I had this next door neighbour who was, without understating it, fanatical about the game. And he was a very nice French man called Frédéric. And Frédéric was always telling me to come along for a practice game. So he took me to this place which has got these sort of narrow lanes with nets either side. And you just stand in between two of the nets and swing the old thing and try to hit the ball, really. And I failed on most occasions.
Yeah, you practice on those things.
The ball's there and my club's going there and it's going there. Anywhere but hit the ball, you know. But I didn't have to get a backache next day, I tell you. So all sorts of muscles that I had no idea that I had suddenly reminded me of their presence. So because I always thought golf was kind of pretty laid back sort of a game, but actually it doesn't
No,
have.
it's a lot of a skill, concentration. You
Oh
have to
yes,
really give you a good shot, and it's a lot of stamina also.
yeah,
I mean, it does that to give you the swing, gives you
yeah.
that a whole range of muscles get to move at the one point just to get to that little particular point, and then you have to get the distance. It's a whole set of skills.
I was on board with the kind of skill aspect of it, but it was the kind of making your muscles feel like you're 126 years old that kind of got me.
Well, I'm sure if you had done it a bit more regular, you would have been okay by now.
I only went the one time. He scared the crap out of me after. Oh, my back was kind of like this for about a week. So that was that. But it's all
Step
good.
out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I think we should all get out of our comfort zone at some point.
Well, you certainly got me out of my comfort zone today, so thank you for that.
Anytime. And if you just joined us, what I did is I press ganged Irma into. I was doing another video, and I press ganged her into telling 10 of her absolutely wonderful mindset points to everybody in the middle of the thing. And we might repeat them today at the end. I think that'd be a pretty good idea.
Ready,
I'll have them. Don't worry. We'll look them up. I've got a computer here. It's linked to the internet.
Yeah. I have another a Zoom call later on. It's a webinar actually.
Oh. Well, when your Zoom call comes on, then maybe I'll do your 10 points.
Yes, you can do it yourself. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
And then I'll play them back to you later, and you
Yes.
can give me the marks out of 10 or whatever, because they were very good. They were very good. They were actually 11, so it's a bonus one at the end. So there was a Spanish cab driver at a Spanish hospital, and he was for free giving the coronavirus patients some hospital rides, which is a very nice thing to do in itself in Madrid. And then he turns up to pick up one of his fares, and out come all the doctors, and they come out of the hospital, give him a standing ovation and a cheque.
Amazing.
Just such a nice thing to do, really. And it's
there has been many good gestures from a lot of people. It's okay just to act out of an impulse, out of your good person that you are, and help others. More so now that we are having this kind of issue, in which we really have to prove to ourselves that we are good people, and that we can help others.
Yes, I mean, yes, it is bringing out the best in many people. I think I really do believe that. Actually, I think that the world is rising to this challenge together. Hello, Andy, and hello, Colin. You're in sort of lockdown as well, aren't you, at the moment? And so I wonder if you're finding it as what should we say, challenging as we are.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go out and party, but like up on a party like it's 1999, and we just rewind the clock 21 years, and we can do that.
Well, you can always go and play front on the car back to the car back.
Well, if we do, we'll post a video of it on the old internet. We'll think about that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll think about that. But maybe you're giving me ideas now. That's something to do before tomorrow, I guess. I wonder. Be quite a thing, wouldn't it? And then how Corona helps Swiss banks to cut their costs. That's interesting. This is about. I think banks are considering how to reduce the older overheads alongside everybody else, really.
Yeah.
It's in the same way that it's made people do things that they were thinking about a lot faster. Because we had the vague idea of doing some videos, didn't we? And then this lockdown came, and I kind of tricked you into coming in front of the camera here, and the rest is sort of like history. So that's quite interesting. And so for financial services, they've got to start interacting remotely with customers, and in order to do that, you can have staff, can't you, who are kind of elsewhere. And breaking off for a moment, our good friend Kevin has had for a while some foxes in his garden, and he posts
beautiful.
These absolutely wonderful pictures of them. He's suggested that we take a look at them now, and with your permission, Kevin, we'll hold them up to the webcam in a minute. We're just
oh my god!
Oh, it's gorgeous. Turn it round, and
beautiful.
how absolutely!
Gosh.
This is like something out of David Attenborough. I tell you, this is such a beautiful picture of the we've got two separate cameras here that we're sort of holding it up to, but I'm sorry you can't see it there very clearly, but
Oh,
it's
the
it's
touching
it's
nose.
absolutely
They got
stunningly
puppies.
stunningly beautiful a picture.
Oh,
So thank you so much for sharing that. And
beautiful.
if you're friends of Kevin, you'll have a chance, I guess, to see those pictures. It's
Oh,
like a sort of
wonderful.
wonderful kind of family joy in the Fox family. And yeah, do please, if we're connected on Facebook and you post something nice, do flag it up for me, because I don't always get to see what people post. People sometimes think that I'm being rude because I haven't liked their post or something, but I just don't see it. Or Facebook decides what I'm allowed to see and what I'm not. So blame Mr. Zuckerberg.
Yeah, plus you've been very busy today. Phone calls, Zoom calls.
Well, I have actually. You know. So there's a thing. There's a thing.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, the banks are doing what other organisations are doing. Banks in England started this long before COVID-19, closing some of their branches,
Introduction of office space, I see.
and so this is happening as well in Switzerland, where temporary closures of banks have become permanent. Reduction of office space, again, we're seeing that in England. You know, why do you need that open plan office the size of a football pitch when actually you can
Yeah.
run it from somebody's front room? And so, sorry, landlords. Video conferencing to replace business trips, which is another kind of obvious thing. Well, that's the world's shortest article, because that's what it was. They're the three things that they were doing, and you don't need the paragraphs in the middle going blah 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 blah. There's not much more you can say about those things. Department of the bleeding obvious, really.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And meetings. I've been told a couple of times today, people have said that your meeting around the boardroom table or something doesn't have to go much quicker when you're on Zoom, because everybody's already got their water and their pencils and all that kind of thing. They're all ready, and we just go around the table. Everybody wants to get it over as quickly as possible, so we just go from this screen to this screen to this screen to this. And everybody says their stuff, and they'll say ciao, and they go back to the kitchen for a snack.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see why you can see the incentives of all these kinds of things, definitely.
I wonder if you all have plans now what to do once we are on the other side of this lockdown. For example, what you have learned about yourself. Are you gonna go back to the old ways? If you still remember what they look like, I can't remember mine, and where's a good reason?
Oh yeah, very much so, absolutely. Now we were talking earlier a bit about contact tracing and these things that sort of go on, and we've come across a thing where in the UK, you know, they're gonna do this. I think Google and might have been Facebook, a kind of two sort of arch rivals in the tech world were teaming up to put apps on people's phones, which will be able to trace when you've been standing close to somebody who, even though they may not have been sneezing, may have been COVID infected. And here we've got two countries, Switzerland and Austria, aligning their standards with it is Gapple, it's Google and Apple, Gapple, and Switzerland and Austria have backed this initiative, which will mean that anybody with this virus who's been close to your phone, close enough for within sort of Bluetooth range, you'll be notified that. Then you can go and have a test and self-isolate for a bit if necessary. Hello, Nick, and hello, Anita. It's very nice to have your company this evening. And a big thanks to Kev, who's just sent me an article which we'll be having a look at shortly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing: love in the time of Corona. This wasn't how I planned it, but she said yes. Wow! Oh, that's so nice, isn't it? We're going to have to.
Several stories.
We're going to have to wait for a minute for this to load, because I think we've our internet has sort of disappeared, or it might be back on now. Yeah, oh, it's back on now. So whoops.
Yeah, I think everybody's downloading films, etc., etc.
They may well be, you know, they may well be, but it's these things where you know, people the beings stuck together during the old Corona time has either forced him to pop the question or something, or that sort of thing. And
I think after 3 weeks of being 24/7 together, I think you would have a good idea whether the thing is going to work or not. I mean,
yes.
he happens to every single. I mean, to all the couples. If you're used to having different routines and get to see each other just a little while, and then after 3 weeks lockdown, oh, what is that?
There's a fella here. This is the Guardian, and this guy wanted to go to Balmoral, to propose to his girlfriend, and then Balmoral emailed them to say that everything was in lockdown, so sorry, cannot, no can do. So he just proposed at home, I guess, and without reading this in too much detail. So yeah, what did they do? They organised it on Zoom, and she said yes,
Oh my goodness.
with some friends and family, zooming in. So it's kind of romantic, isn't it? You know, it's a nice it's a nice thing, really. And then various stories. I mean, the headlines really say it all, really. Infidelity makes you resourceful. I'm just not going to read that. My flatmate has been relentlessly flirtatious, which is an interesting thing. I didn't think him about that way at first, says Ashley. But, you know, being stuck in the same place with a guy for 6 weeks might sort of change one's inclination on that. I couldn't risk being the one to infect him. And that's Sarah talking about who is a hospital pharmacist. And so, oh my goodness, he had to move out of the house temporarily. And that's quite a thing. And in the evenings they catch up. So presumably, yeah, he's staying at a friend's house, and they're catching up on things. But they've been married like 20 years, and they've never spent a single night apart. So that's difficult, isn't it? That's a big step to take, isn't it? Really, to protect your loved ones.
Yeah, that tab is already open now. The one that the link that Dr. sent you.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. And you found something as well about
yes, how young people around the world are celebrating the weirdest Earth Day ever. So a lot of people was asked, and they were getting louder, more strident years. Yeah, they still going in sometimes the Earth Day, which is 72-hour digital mobilization run by the U.S. climate strike. Yeah, we all doing different odd things to celebrate being alone on Earth Day.
Presumably, we're all 2 meters apart doing our independent thing.
Yes, that's right.
And that does make some kind of sense, I guess. And you know, we got to do that. We got to do that. So, well, we're still trying to find your 10 words of wisdom, but we'll come back to that.
Yes, I think you need to.
In due course,
because I only have 5 minutes. I need to go back into another place.
Oh my lord! Well, we'd better sort of speak very quickly then, and time is of the essence. That's what they say in kind of theatrical thing. Not theatrical, Freudian slip in legal circles. Not that there'd be any theatrics in the courts, would there? No. It's all the way it is. But there's an island off the coast of Estonia that the locals have labelled Corona Island because it's become the hotspot for the virus and has been placed into a strict quarantine. The island of Saramia, this arose because there's a big sporting event there with a team from Italy. So half the island's population have contracted the virus, and they're in lockdown and responding as best they can. It doesn't look like a huge community, but these kind of things, when you've got 10 houses in the community or something, it kind of hits you. Hard. My friend Ferry, who lives on the island of Bonaire in the Atlantic, they've now got 5 cases of it. And David, thank you for joining us. And Cal says, "Hi guys, it works. I fell asleep for 10 minutes and the noise woke me up. I forgot to switch off Facebook. Little sleep, and at 11:30 I was expecting a call, and you were on. That is to say, me. I must have pressed something because there you were again at 4. Oh my goodness me! I'm honestly not stalking you, Cal, but that's quite a thing, isn't it? But she says, and I'm very honoured that both of the talks that I gave were kind of interesting, and Cal forgot to make an important phone call because she liked chat and statistics and stuff. I'm sorry, mea culpa. I will show you the spreadsheet at some point. And Cal says, just look under the table in my study, and you'll find me there. It's true. Hello. So, hello, Anna. Thank you for joining us this evening. We were watching your split screen Facebook thing the other day, so it's nice to have you have you along to Irma and I having this little old chat that we do every day. Kevin says, I guess in some ways it's like being on a desert island. If you are with just someone for a long time, you naturally feel a bond to them, and this can lead to a relationship. Yeah,
Yes.
I guess it is. It's yeah. I wonder if that was what happened with Robinson Crusoe and Man Friday, but I don't think the story is ever told in that story. We're going to Scotland now, anyway. Before we get into trouble here, and after accepting the cookies, which is extremely irritating
The
when you have
cookies
to
are
cook
getting
this thing.
cooked.
The cookies have actually sort of nobbled my ability to access this thing that Rocker Kev sent, but
There you go.
we'll have a go at it. There it is, but it'll, as soon as I scroll it, I'll go accept cookies, yes, no, and then it'll freeze, or oh no, it isn't. And so these are some videos of things like a pug leaping over loo rolls to lift spirits during lockdown, and they've done like it's like one of these horse trials and everything, where they've done this enormous pile of loo rolls, which must have cost the earth, given that's the most valuable commodity on the planet right now. And there's a pug jumping over them, which is ever so nice. There's so many nice stories, coming out of the world right now about stuff that's going on. We'll watch more of that later, but that's a terrific thing that we really enjoyed having our butchers at, as they say. Now then, loads and loads of good news to talk about this evening. Far too much to squeeze into the short time, the comparatively short time that we have available. But we'll come to you in a second, Irma. But just first to this is the shock horror news report that is going to hold all the front pages and stop the presses and all this kind of thing. And speaking as someone who once was a student, and it doesn't seem that long ago. It doesn't seem like half a century ago. But anyway, here's the big revelation tonight. Students spend more time sleeping and watching YouTube during Corona break. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? So, hold the front page, because that's got to be, front page news. I think it really has. Yeah.
Hey, you're only young ones, and honestly, once they finish their studies and everything else, life just comes a reality that they have to do something with that degree that they're studying, or do something else, and it's okay for them to chill out at this time. Which brings me to August the 1st on this little book called Everyday Happiness, and that says, wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine.
Oh.
Anthony J. D'Angelo.
Hey, bring me sunshine. No, we went
Quit
to see
singing.
we went to see a show based on
did.
those two fellas, Eric Morecambe and Ernie Wise. It was in a theatre in the pre-lockdown era here in Cambridge. It was these two fellas who were touring around the country, and they had studied the Morecambe and Wise routines. Two comedians who were on British television for a long time. If you're aware of them. And it was a absolutely terrific and a fabulous performance that really brought back. I'd never seen them in the flesh actually when they were famous, but it really brought. It was certainly like being. I mean, I'd seen them on the telly, and it was really very well done. And open your hotspot if you don't mind.
It's what I like of living in Cambridge. That everything is just at walk distance. You find everything. Well, before the lockdown, that is. We don't know what's going to happen after. But every single night there was a different thing to go to and do something different.
And in the last year we went to at least 3 things. So there we are. We're an adventurous bunch, aren't we? That's and ain't that a fact?
Done.
But it is my full intention tonight, we're working towards this, being able to share Irma's 10 Pearls of Wisdom, because they are really good tonight. So as soon as we get to the point where we have internet, we'll be able to download them. See, we don't always prepare these things in quite as much with quite as much diligence as possibly we should. But it makes for more fun, because then we can fire things into the mix that are in some ways unexpected. So let's see how we get on now. Are we going to get a result here connected? I think we are. But in the meantime, we will carry on and we'll come back to this.
Carl is saying, apart from Yeah, I love your laughter. I really do. But she's also saying that I found out recently friends are having a happy divorce. Actually, it should be all about divorce are a traumatic thing for children, no matter what age they are. If you have children and you're going through divorce, please be sensible and just pass some kind of wisdom that things aren't working out, and just trying to make a clear, swift cut, and don't impregnate your children with some of that stuff. So I don't know. Yes, it's good to know that it's a happy divorce. Yeah, I wonder how or what they do it.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Brilliant.
But it's always very nice to have these sort of feel good things, and to be able to share, happy moments at times which in some people's lives might be stressful perhaps, and this kind of thing. So to find people looking for good outcomes in times which for other people are pretty grim, it's nice and kind of very civilized when they can do that. And if there are children involved, if the kids if the parents can keep it civil for the case of for the sake of the children, then obviously that's a wonderful gesture. It's a wonderful thing to do, it must lead to good outcomes for the children moving forward, because children are very influenced, especially if they're younger children. They're very influenced by the activities of their parents. It's inevitable, really, I think, isn't it? So kind of if the parents can be civil about things at a time when others possibly might not be, then I think that's absolutely something to celebrate, and something that we would thoroughly endorse. I think you'll agree with that.
I do.
It's a super thing. I've nearly found Irma's wise sayings, and I completely intend to share them this evening, because they're just so inspiring. Our talk tonight is going to be a little shorter than the normal stuff that we do, but it's become a point of honour that I'm going to share these wonderful words.
You found it.
I haven't found it yet, but it is definitely on this page. So I will find this within a few seconds. Just as soon as the old dumb thing, we put the 10 pence in the meter, we heat it up, we press go, and everything will click into place. So if I press 10...
It has been a long day for David, so...
It has. So sorry if I'm a gibbering idiot at the moment, but probably not more no more than usual. But
we need some of that gin and tonic.
a G&T in a minute when we switch off the old machine will be good. Ditch the dogs, it said. That's not part of that's not part of Irma's thing. That's part of my thing. And I think we're about to come up to the bit that we need right now. With a bit of luck, I know it's definitely on this page. And here we got it. So who's going to do this? Should we take one each and do one? You do one and I do one, and you do one and I do one. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And this is really, sorry for sort of fuffing around a bit, but this is really the takeaway thought that we'd like to leave you with tonight. And thank you for your company tonight. It's been really wonderful to share this time with you. And yes, it's how absolutely lovely. Cal has sent me a song which I'm gonna sing. It's such a lovely song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. That was a song that my dad used to sing. So that is so absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
very touching.
Yeah, I'm very grateful also that you're all here with us and putting on with us, and we really, well, I am really grateful, because this has helped us as much as hopefully will help you. But anyway, we were going to read something.
Yes, we're absolutely honoured that you've come to break bread with us in our home this evening, and we do hope that moving forward that things are going to the friendships that we're strengthening now will stay strong as we kind of move forward. So these are Irma's really 10 steps to keeping it all together during the lockdown. Should we do them alternately, starting with you doing number one? Does that sound good?
Yes. Okay. This is just my thoughts. It says you matter more so in this this lockdown. It says you matter because you are a survivor, alive and with your foot on the accelerator, ready to take off and to discover new uncharted roads.
Be passionate. Find your passion and make it your purpose in life.
Be positive. Find your passion and make it be positive. Value and make the most of every day and every opportunity, however small, that comes your way.
Be alive. Every day is a fresh start. A good day because you are still standing firm with your family or those nearest to your heart.
Be grateful. Remember, long gone are the days in which travel times or physical proximity could separate us from our loved ones.
Relate. Your family could not be any closer because you have now identified who matters the most in your life.
Connect. For the first time in history, we live in a totally connected world. Your greatest asset is the people in your network. We all face the same challenges. The connections, valuable insights and shared values empowers us all.
Network. The people who support your dreams really matter, even if it is to give you a sense of reality that your dreams are too big, or if it's to tell you that you're not dreaming enough.
And this is your time definitely to reset. Fasten your seatbelt. And surround yourself at all times with people you inspire and who inspire you.
Manage your time effectively. Take ownership of your day. It's your future. And finally,
enjoy, fasten your seatbelt, hold on tight, and enjoy the ride.
woohoo! And with that, we thank you very sincerely for spending some time with us this evening. It's been a terrific honour. Oh, Francis Dolly's just joined us. Hello. It was very nice to share with you, sir, that charity gig that we did over the weekend. That was 3 days of property information that was all to raise money for the NHS. And Kevin says, thank you both. Take care. Lots of love. Stay safe. And he points out that it's St George's Day tomorrow, which is a real red letter day in the calendar, as an absolutely wonderful thing. We will definitely be what. Are we allowed to hang out the flag for St George's Day? I guess it's probably very much on the cards that we will. Have we got one? We've got a little Union Jack cushion, actually, as it happens.
Yeah.
With a dog on it. So just so that you know, I don't make these things up. There's our thing for St George's Day. And it's kind of super cool to have stuff like that in the old library, which is from whence we do these. So to summarise again, the stuff that we saw early on in today's proceedings, according to the Sun newspaper, who say anything but their prayers, as my dad used to say. Owen Cal says she enjoyed me singing that song, and her dad used to sing it to her every night when he tucked her into bed. Same thing with me. I'll tomorrow night then I'll sing you, Cal, a song that my dad used to sing to me when he used to tuck me into bed every night. It's quite a moving one. I'll share that. Recapping what we did at the beginning, the Sun newspaper alleged that we're all going to be encouraged to wear masks on public transport and all that kind of thing. There's pros and cons to that. It may well stop uninfected people without symptoms from infecting other people, which is a good thing. But as long as we make sure that there are enough masks for the people in the hospital that really need it. And somebody was talking about someone in the air ambulance who earlier today who gets through about 20 masks a day, because these are disposable masks, and they're not intended to be worn for long periods of time. So in terms of all this PPE, protective personal equipment shortages, the fact is there's just a huge burn rate on them, and they are designed to be disposable and thrown away. And these are extraordinary times where we're getting through them at an incredible rate. And then recapping on the old numbers, although we sort of peaked, we've flattened this curve. We're not into decline yet, so that's why we're all still locked up at home. But it's not doubling every 3 days, which would have been unthinkable. I'm not even going to share with you the numbers that would have been if we hadn't gone into lockdown now, but it would have been 10 or 20 times what we're seeing now. So there's it's not for no reason that we've that we have tightened up and locked down and tightened our belts. Oh, and hello, Renee. It's very nice to have you with us this evening. Cal is looking forward to
You singing tomorrow?
sing song tomorrow. It's a very 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 nice and touching song, and we will definitely do that. I think we need a couple of thoughts from Irma now, and then we'll bid everyone a very very good night.
Yep. Virtual hugs. Today, give someone a genuine, warm virtual hug. Today, and they will hold you back, and you will both feel great.
Absolutely.
So
it's a long time since I've gone out there and given somebody an actual hug, and I guess it will be a while
including
yet.
me.
That's not true. That's shocking. Here's one. Have a hug. I'm mortified that you could even suggest
Kidding.
anything.
So thank you very much for being tonight with us.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed your company. We'll be back at roughly the same time tomorrow, and I think you can get notified when we come on. That Facebook will tell you. Don't fall asleep in front of the old thing though, like Cal did, because otherwise you'll be woken up with my face for radio more often than I would wish. We wish you a wonderful evening. If you're self-isolating at home, then we'll be back at the same time tomorrow. If you're self-isolating with your mates, bring them along tomorrow, and let's make a huge kind of party of this. We'll have San Miguel and all kinds of things for everybody. There it is. It's H2O actually, but never mind. It certainly looks the part. And here I got my H2O as well, because it's thirsty work, this stuff. So we wish you a very sincere and a very pleasant evening, and we hope that you can join us for another live, same time, same place tomorrow evening, which will be Thursday.
Let yourself be happy.
Take really good care, and thank you so much for your company tonight.